Welcome to the Wellness on Demand podcast, bringing you interviews with health, fitness, and wellness professionals, sharing proven strategies that empower you to lead a healthier life and achieve complete wellness. Here's your host, Garvin Reid.
Welcome to another episode of Wellness on Demand. Today I have with me Elena Swan, spiritual life and business coach. Elena, welcome to Wellness on Demand.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for being here. Please introduce yourself to our listening audience.
Sure. I'm Elena Swan. I am an angel card reader. I'm a meditation teacher. I'm a Reiki Master. And I also help people with their business needs. When they have business questions, they come to me and I let the guidance of God and the angels and their spiritual guides help me to help them with what they feel should happen in their business. So that's what I do.
Amazing. Now, I am super excited for today's conversation because I've never heard of a spiritual life coach, much less a spiritual life and a business coach. When you think about the spiritual world and business, you think of them as being opposite worlds, right? Mm-hmm. So can you tell me a little bit more about what is a spiritual life coach?
So a spiritual life coach is somebody that, you would have a session with and you would get on the phone with me and you would say, okay, so this is what's going on in my life. And I say, okay. And I give you intuitive messages that I'm getting very easily. My clairaudience, which is the psychic hearing, is very, very clear. Everybody has different clairs that they're better at, if you will, like clairvoyance. A lot of people have always heard of, and that's the psychic sight, people that can see. And then mine, my best quality is that psychic hearing for the clairaudience. Okay. So I hear the messages very clearly and I'll say, okay, I'm getting a message, and I just tell them what it is. And then we pair it with a meditation, and a meditation, every time you have a meditation, it's a healing. So you go away with your guidance, with your path, with what you feel like the direction of your life is supposed to be going right now. And you have a healing. So you kind of get best of both worlds in there.
That's very interesting. Now, was this a gift that you were born with or something you had to develop? How did you come into this psychic hearing, if you will?
Yeah, it's kind of both. As a child, I definitely had these gifts, and unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to really flesh them out until my late 20s. And in my late 20s, I had this psychic reading myself, and I'll never forget it. The man, he said, you're open, you're closed, you're open, you're closed. What do you want to do? And I said, I want to be open, because I did want to be open. I wanted to be able to hear the messages and feel them and see spirit. And I thought that was just so wonderful and fascinating and just, a gift. It's a real gift. And he opened me, and then I started seeing spirit everywhere, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I got into meditation classes and I honed my gifts. First, I learned how to meditate and meditate very clearly. I always heard very easily. And really with the automatic writing that I learned, I even learned how to really hone that spiritual hearing gift, the clairaudience. So.
That is very fascinating. I am blown away by it. I was recently reading a book about human power and the power of singular focus. Mm-hmm. And it led me to the thought of, energies and how energies are, as human beings, when we combine our energy into a singular focus for one purpose, how we can accomplish things. Mm-hmm. So it kind of connects a little bit for me there in terms of the whole psychic hearing and meditation. Now, tell me a little bit about meditation and how that all worked out for you. Like, is it like you fold you sit in the middle of the room, fold your legs and hum, or how does that work? Because everybody has a different idea of what meditation looks like.
It is. There's so many different forms of meditation, and the one that I learned, so it's the one that I, resonate the highest with, and the one that I love the most, it's called guided meditation. So what I do, you don't have to sit in a room and hum. You can, when you feel like you need that. But what I like to do is take the person on a journey. So it's my voice guiding you the whole time. We start with grounding, and then we go somewhere to get your healing. Usually the white light space, which is the special healing room tucked away in heaven, where your soul goes to heal when it needs healing. You can go to the forest, you can go to the mountains, the waterfall is amazing, but there's all these different locations. And the way that the angels channel the meditations to me, and that's because I have all the meditations that I offer people are ones that I have channeled from spirit. Okay. Mostly from the angels, because I am very close knitted with the angels. I am very connected to the angels. When I learned the angel cards, it was just like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm supposed to do. These are my people, and this is who I'm going to be guided by. And it was very simple for me to get on that path. Okay.
Okay.
So the way that the angels have always channeled the meditations for me is that we have an issue that we need to solve. So we go somewhere to solve that issue, and then they get light healing to help them. And then I channel a message specifically for that person, because I do a lot of private sessions. So specifically for you, you can either be, what do I need to hear today for my healing and my growth? Or someone says exactly the question that they have, and I'll actually type up a little transcript for them while we're meditating. I type up everything that's going on.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
And to wrap it around back to the spiritually based life coaching, like, is that, so I come to you, we connect, you give me some spiritual guidance through your listening, and then we meditate. Is that a continuous thing? Is it like therapy? How does that all work out? And how are you able to guide me through my spiritual life or my business life? How does that look?
Okay. So usually I like to work with people weekly, because it's not just this one little quick fix. Okay. It is a journey. And if you stick with that journey and you do the work, not just with us when we're having our session, but you go away and you do the work, you will get further in your life. So I like to give meditations to people that they can go home and do. It's not that outlandish for you to close your eyes and to see yourself in the white light space and going up a staircase and having the angels surround you and giving you healing. Okay, maybe you can't channel a message like I did for you, but you can feel love. You can, feel comfort, or you can see the angels around you. Some people can see them. Some people that I work with can't see, and they just feel. A lot of people will say, I don't see the color orange, but I feel it. So, I hope that answers that. It's more of a journey. So, and it's not like, it's going to be a journey for 3 months and then we're done. It's a journey for as long as you feel you need it. I have some students that work with me for a very short time. And then I have one woman that's been working with me for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
And that's just, because she's now really into maintenance of what's going on in her life, but we still really enjoy our sessions. And again, it's a healing every time she has her meditation. So though she's meditating on her own, I kind of call myself like the extra help, if you will. So I hope that makes sense.
That does make sense. And that did actually answer the question. So thank you for that.
Great.
So I'm also curious. So you do this in my life to guide me. So as someone coming to you who is new to this and say, okay, if I have an addiction, for instance, whether it's eating or drinking or whatever, whatever my addiction may be, what kind of guidance would you give to me, and how would you facilitate that process, as those are things that I'm struggling with and would want to work with some kind of life coach to get past?
Right. So it would be very specific. I would ask you, when did this start for you? We could talk about your childhood. I have an inner child meditation that I've channeled for people. And some of my meditations, they're really fun and it's exciting and you leave and you're happy. And others, it's really hard. Like the inner child one, I always say it's not a fun one, but you gotta do this one. And sometimes we even go into people's past lives, because I also go into people's past lives with the meditation. I'm not a past life regressionist. I'm more of, again, it's a meditation.
Okay.
So I channeled this meditations to get you into your past life. And again, I write down everything and I have specific questions so that you can figure out what is the issue that I had in that life that maybe I missed it. I skipped over it. I died too early, and now how is that issue going to help me in this life to learn that lesson? It's all about the lessons. So with say an addiction, it would be first, just feeling it out. I would just automatically want to ground you and give you the tools that you need. I would absolutely recommend essential oils because I always recommend essential oils for your spiritual uses as well. And then we would go on that journey to figure out why you felt this way. It's not just like, again, the quick fix. It would be a journey.
Understood. Sense? Life is a journey. That is my philosophy. So I love it. So spiritual life coaching sounds very similar to Buddhist principles. Like, how are those connected? Are they connected, or am I making a connection that doesn't exist?
For me, it's not that it's just Buddhist. I kind of take from everything. I actually was raised Roman Catholic.
Okay.
Which is like completely different than being a psychic. I mean, they would probably burn me at the stake somewhere. But, it never really resonated for me. I never understood why they were so regimented and all of these rules. And I was like, what is all this? So I for my spiritual purposes, I just let things be. Right. I love the angels. My spirit guides. I talk to the fairies. I talk to your loved ones in heaven. So I don't really have like Buddhism, Catholicism, Christianity. I love God. I believe in Jesus. Mother Mary is my best friend. But I don't go to a Catholic church anymore.
Understood. I'm a Christian myself.
But I don't even feel like you have to be in a church to have God. God is everywhere. God is right here with us right now. So
I love that. I love that idea.
To be in that presence of God, God is with you all the time. And it's just the way that you speak to God and speak to Jesus and speak to your loved ones. You don't have to go to their grave to talk to them.
Right.
Here in your heart, in your bedroom. They're sitting at the end of your bed. They love you. And that's all that matters.
I like to call it the God energy, right? So God is energy, and that energy is always surrounding you. So you're right. Like, you don't need to be in a specific place or a specific setting or speak in a specific way, because a lot of people are stuck in the old version or the old ideas of how you speak to God. You can just speak to God and connect with him. So I love that you have that idea that God is everywhere and you can connect with him wherever you can, because I kind of feel like that's the idea behind Christianity, right? Is for you to be able to connect with God where you are. And
God is your best friend also. If you don't look at God like you're fearful of him or her, or whatever you believe, or just the universe in general, if you don't go into it with fear and you just go with love, it can be whatever you want it to be and whatever you need it to be.
I agree with you. I love that philosophy. That is so awesome about the way you think about it, because if God is an energy, right, that energy can transfigure or transform into whatever you want it to be, whatever your religious belief is. It doesn't necessarily have to be Christianity. It could be, whatever your specific religion is, and you can own it, whether that's Buddhism, whether that's Christianity, whatever that may be, Taoism. There are a whole bunch of different religions, that Hinduism, you can keep going all day with the list, but whatever your religion is, it can be, that God energy can be whatever you want it to be, and it can transfigure your life based on those philosophies of your specific religion that you want to pull into your life. You can pull from different religions to make your own. So however you want to.
I feel like that's definitely what I have done.
Awesome. I love that. Now that we've touched on the spiritual life, energy, and journey part of it, I want to understand this from a business perspective now. So I understand how it works when it's my spiritual energy and when I'm trying to fix my life. How does this work for business? Like, that's the part that always gets me.
Well, isn't business a part of your life too? So if you're an entrepreneur, you need help. You need guidance. You need a direction. You know, sometimes you need just another set of eyes or another set of ears on your business. And people will call me specifically for business reasons. And I happen to be very strategic in business as well. And I own my own 2 businesses.
Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. Co-owner with my wife for both of them. And again, it would be very specific and very much what you need. Do you need to figure out how to, kind of get a bigger presence on social media? I'll be like, well, this kind of worked for me, so why don't you try that? And it's also like kind of trial and error. Things that work for me may not work for you because we have different businesses. Does that make sense? That
definitely makes sense. And totally, I get it because, a lot of people don't realize that, when you're a small independent business person or you even work in a business, a lot of the things that happen depend on you as a person. It depends on the energy that you bring to it and the work that you put into it and what you do, your actions that create the outcomes that you're looking for. So yes, it is important that you're aligned appropriately, I guess, the word I'm looking for, spiritually aligned with whatever it is that you're trying to do and focusing that energy to to accomplish the task that you're trying to accomplish. So
completely,
I totally align with you on that. And I agree with you on that 100%.
Along with manifesting and helping you to, manifest your goals, to hear it, feel it, see it, become it, and then make it happen. I teach people a lot about that in the business kind of aspect of what I do as well. And it's just whatever they feel they need, they will go away with. Whatever you need, you will leave with. And that's what I pride myself in my work.
Amazing. Now, this all sounds wonderful and I love where you go with it, but I'm sure also that a part of this is also you have to value your time. So how much does this all cost? Like for someone to find you and become and get some spiritual life coaching?
Right. So, for me, I have my set of my rates, and that is on my website, and it's connections with Elena, ELENA.com. And I would say, with other spiritual guidance people, coaches, whatever they call themselves, because I believe we call ourselves so many different things. Spiritual advisor is another one. And everybody has their different rates with what they feel they value your time also, like how you just said. But I'll be honest with you, whenever I do raise my rates, which isn't very often, I have to say, I always feel that energy is coming and the angels give me my raise. How I look at it.
That's awesome. I love that.
It's pretty cool. And I don't really get a lot of, backlash about that. Like my full-time students who are saying, it's going to be another $10. They're okay with that. So, and I have packages that I put together to save people money. I love to save people money as much as I can. Awesome. And, as long as I feel like I'm getting some kind of energy exchange, because you have to balance energy. And that's why you have to pay people like us, because the energy has to be balanced. So say you came to my house and you watched my children and you babysat them and I gave you a meditation session. Well, now the energy is balanced. You did something for me. Money is simply a physical form of energy. And that's how we exchange. So.
I love that answer. And I love because, some people look at money as a negative thing, but money is really just a tool that we use to accomplish things that we need to get done. And I love the idea of thinking of it as energy and an exchange of energy. I go to work every day, and in exchange, my company gives me some energy back in the form of money, and I give them energy in the form of work. So I love that idea. I love how you were able to connect all the elements of spirituality, business and finance, and how it all works as an energy. Thank you so much, Elena, for being here today, for sharing this information with our audience. We look forward to having you back. Tell my listening audience where they can find you if they want to sign up. I know you've shared your website, but if you don't mind sharing it again, and your Facebook page, and I'll definitely share that in the show notes for the audience to be able to click on.
Yeah, so it's both Connections with Elena, and I have a Facebook page. I actually do a monthly reading live on my Facebook page. I pull the cards for the whole world for the whole week, and I pair it with an essential oil, and I usually throw in a meditation if spirit is guiding me that way. And then with my wife, we also have our little series that we call Oils and Angels, and it's a TikTok video. So in 1 minute, you get your oil and your angel card, and it's like, hurry up. And we're having a lot of fun with that, and we work together, and I love working with her. She is my best friend, she is my soulmate, and she is my business partner.
Thank you again so much for being here. You're listening to Wellness on Demand. Please like us on Facebook at Wellness OD, and follow us on Instagram at Wellness OD as well. Until next time.
You've been listening to Wellness on Demand with Garvin Reid. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.wellnessod.com.